Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen. Thank you for everybody joining me in the chat this morning. Sean Jones, good morning. You're right at the beginning this time. I'm a little bit later because of adulting, so I had to go a little bit later, but I'm very glad that you caught me at the very beginning. So this is going to be a really interesting, unique episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. We're going to go on a little bit of a tangent, so hang in there with me. Hello, Same Time Toys. Thank you for joining us again in the chat. I appreciate it. Have a great show, Replay Squad, today. Okay, that's fine. So we're going to be covering the 92 figure, which is Desert Scorpion Snake Eyes. So we're going to go off on a little bit of a tangent today. So if anybody in the chat it joins me, hang in there with me because we're going to go off on a little bit of a tangent. I wanted to make sure everybody is aware I'm David Allen, or if you'd like, you call me Super Dave. Okay, so 610 Yojo Daddy, thank you for joining us in the chat. What's up, Super Dave? What's up, fellas? Y'all smash that like button, hit that schedule, subscribe. Yep, do all the stuff that 610 Yojo Daddy says. But one of the main things that can help this channel grow from now on is sharing. So if you find this content intriguing and engaging, please share to other places. I try to share on Facebook a lot of places. I'm trying to figure out how to share on Instagram and TikTok. So we're working on those two things. So if you guys can share this, that would be very helpful to get us further with subscribers and so on and so forth, because everybody that is a subscriber has been very helpful and very kind and very generous with their time and stuff like that. So thank you very much. So like I said, we're going to be going into Desert Commando Snake Eyes. So we're going to go off into a tangent a little bit. So so this was a previous I guess environmental kind of a group that G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero, started in the vintage era with Desert Clutch and Desert, that was Grunt, sorry, Desert Grunt and Desert Clutch, who was with the Mark II Vamp. So they started this kind of like environmental group, but they never really did anything else with it. It only kind of went off to the wayside until they introduced Desert Dusty. And there was other desert characters, like there was Desert Duke, there was Sandstorm and Dusty version 2. Then there was other villains like the Sand Scorpion and things like that in the line. So there was an environmental like theme uh, uh, through the whole history of the G.I. Joe brand, but it wasn't like concerted. They didn't go out of their way to say, oh, this is the desert theme of the line or an Arctic theme, whereas there was Arctic themed, lots of Arctic themed vehicles, characters, playsets, and a subgroup that was a mail away in the 90s. There was a desert themed 4-figure wave that was a subgroup that was a mail away. So they went out of their way for the Arctic theme, and then there was a lot of water themed stuff, water vehicles, water figures, bad guys, and stuff like that. But I think there may have been a water themed subgroup as well, with a couple figures that were multi packs as well. But there was originally going to be a desert theme through Hasbro's vintage line, and we're going to go into that right now. Um, so let's see. Find it. Ah, here it is. The Desert Force. So there was going to be a desert themed team. It was called Desert Force. We never got it. This is an unproduced line of figures. And let's see what they have to say about it. This is Dan Klingsmith's series of books, Creating G.I. Joe, The History of G.I. Joe, number 8, which is my favorite volume, the Crimson Edition. So it just happens to also have unproduced material in it on the Desert Force. And every volume of this series, if any of you guys want to get it, has unproduced concepts, figures, vehicles, lines of figures, other series of uh, ideas, ideations, and so on and so forth. And then the last two volumes, volume 14 and 15, were all unproduced, un un characters and designs that we never got. I highly recommend this if you want to learn a lot about the history of G.I. Joe and things that we never received in this line. Dan Klingsmith's series of books, Creating a Real American Hero. This is volume 8. All right, let's get into this Desert Force. So it says alternate names NA never released, designed by Kurt Groen. He was another designer in the late 80s and the 90s. He was a heavy designer on the G.I. Joe brand in the 90s. So it says here, shortly after Iraq invaded Kuwait in 1990, the Joe team proposed another subgroup labeled Desert Force. Similar to other subsets such as Night Force and Tiger Force, the goal was to reuse tooling for existing characters and redeco them in new colors and desert patterns. The subset was to include heavy duty, Sci-Fi, Salvo, and Ambush, and the Patriot vehicle that was eventually released in 1992. With a lot of tension going on in the United States and in increased troops and resources in the Persian Gulf, the Joe team decided that they would hold off on releasing this subset because it could create a bad publicity for Hasbro. So there you go. And then it shows the 4 figures that were originally going to be in Desert Force, their figures and their ideations. So the brand, the G.I. Joe brand, had all these subgroups going back quite a while. Snow Job in Arctic, and then Grunt and Clutch in Desert, going back to 83. So then we got Desert, we got Dusty, and we got Dusty version 2, and we got other desert versions. We got desert versions of Duke, and so on and so forth. So that's where I believe the brand team got the idea for Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Now, Desert Commando Snake Eyes has never existed in the line before. This is an original concept for this character. Yes, we've gotten hundreds of other Snake Eyes, but never a Desert Commando Snake Eyes. So then we have, of course, it's 92 again. And then we have the target artwork with the QR code to nowhere. And then we have the render with a couple interesting bits on his costume. And he comes with quite a lot of gear, this Desert Commando Snake Eyes. And he looks really good from the box. Let's see what his designations has to offer on this to see if it gives you any more environmental designations. It shows the skull, which is covert ops. It shows the knife, which I think is bladed weapons. It shows the eye, which I think I have the eye with the where is the eye? No, I don't think it shows that eye. I don't have that eye, and it does show um, the throwing star, which is I believe not on here either. So the eye and the throwing star I do not have, um, from what I can tell. But there is an icon for desert combat. It's not on the snake eyes. So there you go. That's his designations. Um, so there's his designations right there. And then we go over to the front, which we have that piece of artwork on the side again, which is really cool. I forgot to talk more about it, but isn't that really cool? It looks really nice. And then we have the weapons render again, and then we have the photography artwork from Shooting the Galaxy Matt from that the photography team on Hasbro. And let's see, there's a little guy up there. It looks like Storm Shadow way back there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like Storm Shadow. And then we have looks like, I'm not sure if that's the Dragonfly or not. Maybe that was going to be a hint that we're going to get the Dragonfly at some point. I'm not sure. But I really like this backdrop, this desert backdrop, like a Kuwait or Desert Storm type backdrop of the Snake Eyes. So one of the fun things about this is that we may get that clutch and that grunt in desert camo, just like we were getting different Joes in Arctic camo. Maybe we can get them in desert camo to go along with them. The same thing with water characters. We're getting a lot of water stuff. So I think it would be really cool to get more desert characters. So we have Dusty already. We have the Desert Scorpion and his Scorpion. Now we have Desert Commando Snake Eyes. So we have some adversaries, we have some good guys. Let's get a few more good guys. Let's get some cool desert vehicles like the Vamp Mark II. That would be really cool. A cool version of the Vamp to be released. So again, this is the first time that we're opening all these figures up. We started with Snake Eyes 00, and now we're up to 92 Snake Eyes again. And we've done 11 vintage package figures, and we've done some oddball stuff. Uh, you open this one, Sean Jones? He's a really cool one. I really like it. I like the fact that they're introducing not only repaints, but they're kind of changing it, making it a new version of a character, making it a new ideation of the character. And this Desert Scorpion is the perfect example of that. They've done it with Tiger Force, the Python Patrol, Night Force, the Crimson Faction. They've done it with all those different subgroups. And so that really helps build this line and get some reuse that we never got reuse in the past. The same thing with the Arctic, with the Snowcat, with Flint and Lady J. Um, so there we are. So let's get this guy open. He's one that I really liked from when I saw it, and I thought, man, that's a good idea. Instead of just getting repaints, we're getting new characters in different decos that we never got. I think that's a really good way to repurpose this line and get things that we never got before, and also to get some reuse along the way. So I'm very happy that they're doing stuff like that. And this is only 92, so we got a long way to go, and there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up in the line. So there you go. Oh, I forgot to show his weapons lockers. So number 92, Stars and Stripes, and Desert Commando Snake Eyes. We'll put that over there for now. Put this down here. There. And we'll get this opened. And another thing about Snake Eyes, he's gonna have to always be out. He's one of those characters that you always have to get him out because he's a number one character. So characters like Snake Eyes, Cobra Commander, Duke, Destro, Baroness, Storm Shadow, Zartan, which is called the core character hump of characters. Roadblock, Scarlet. We're going to always be getting those characters periodically. The characters that are lower tier characters like 3 and 4, we're not going to get them that much. We may get some of the second tier characters more, like Major Blood, Firefly, I don't know, Stalker, those type of characters. We may end up getting more often than uh, um, the third and fourth tier characters. But all right, so there's that cool artwork again. Put that over here inside the package, and then we have, here we go, Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Just off the top, I love the new head mask that they gave him. This desert head mask with those reddish copper goggles and the little air breathing slits, and then this little thing to open up his mask in the back. I love the deco that they gave on him. He's got several little red deco hits like the Arashi Kage on the secondary belt uh, there. He's also got a G.I. Joe chevron, like his rank chevron on uh, his harness there, which is brown, and that's another secondary that's on there. He's got a little bitty tampo on here. Looks like it's like a desert tampo. Let me see if I can get it. There, you can kind of see that tampo there. It's like a desert tampo. Um, it's like a snake on there. So I like that, those little deco hits. He's got lots of secondary pouches, belts, harnesses, um, holsters, knife, and leg and gun holster on his right and left legs. But I love the fact that they did different color um, layering on this. He's got like the dark brown, like the khaki brown. He's got this like cream color. He's got lots of different colored decos on him to make him really stand out as a very cool version of Snake Eyes. And I really like the vintage Snake Eyes, but this one is really hitting some really cool notes for me. So we also got on this one all the articulation points. We have the head rocker articulation, and it's a little bit different. If you look at that little notch in the back of the neck, it's a little bit different, like a twist, like a twisty type articulation, and we also have the head articulation. So there's something new there. They're giving, as we go along, little bits of articulation that's new. Like some of the hands on figures now have like a twist and a curve on it. This particular one does not have that one. But our last figure, the figure we did just before this, which was the Alley Viper, Crimson Alley, he had that up and down plus the twist on the hand. Um, so we have the butterflied shoulders, we have the double pinned elbows with the elbow patches there, and the double pinned knees with the knee patches. We have the ab crunch, and we have the normal waist articulation with the leg there. We have the calf, and we have the thigh articulation, the calf and the thigh articulation, which I really think is really cool. Um, this is a very tight figure. There's no looseness in it. We also have the foot rockers, and we have the secondary ankle articulation there. We don't have a secondary wrist articulation, but we have the regular wrist, and we don't have that other wrist one either. So, so several of the articulation points he doesn't have, but he does have this new neck articulation point. Terrence Childs, good morning. Thanks for joining the chat. Vintage action figures will always be better. The reason why is vintage action figures are toys. The new versions of G.I. Joe are now models. Yeah, I can see where you're saying that. There's a lot of articulation though, so there's a lot that the photography people can do with it. There's a lot of people with that do dioramas can do with it. So I don't know. Maybe to a certain extent with the O-ring technology, maybe a vintage figure is a lot more playable, and it's more in the hands, child size. So I'll give you that, Childs, Terrence Childs. But I think the new ones are pretty good. I think the new figures are pretty good. It just depends on what you want to do with it. I guess if you want to be a collector and put it on a shelf and display it, you can do that. I think you can do figure photography. I think you can do figure dioramas. So there's a lot of things you could do with the new classified line, Terrence. Obviously, you could do a lot of those things with the vintage line too, but obviously the size is a lot more child friendly, right? These are a lot more adult friendly. So I can see your point, but I also think there's room for playing with these in certain aspects too. Um, but so I think this Snake Eyes is a um, really cool, really cool version of Snake Eyes. I'm glad that they did this, and it's something new, kind of new in the line, and that's what I want. I want stuff that's new, kind of like that Vipra, kind of like the Crimson Alley Viper and the Crimson Viper and the Python Bat and the Python the Vipra Python and stuff like that. And they gave us that. Oh, so I like it when they do these type of things. Don't make it a straight repaint or redeco or whatever. Give us something new, because I'm sure some of these parts were used on other Snake Eyes figures. They just redecoed them, and some of the pants and things are probably also redecoed from other Snake Eyes. It looks a lot like this has got some, I would say, the double zero Snake Eyes. It looks a lot like him. Maybe the head is new and stuff like that, but a lot of this seems similar to double Snake Eyes. So let's get some of the accessories. We'll put him aside for now. We'll get into his weapons crate, and we'll open up his accessories. We got the Cobra and Joe packaging again. Then we got the legal and indicia. We'll put that back in there. We'll put that aside. So this is going to be an interesting test to see if all this stuff is able to go on the Snake Eyes. So here we go. There. Make sure I didn't drop anything or lose anything. Alas, that's one of the daggers that maybe for my my Crimson Alley Viper. So we got a brown backpack. I think we've seen this backpack before. Might have been, might be Dusty's, possibly. I'm not sure. So let's put that on him. The tricky part about these is trying to get the backpacks through the secondary and into the back. So there you go. I think we got that pretty good. Let's see if I can stand this Snake Eyes without having him fall. No, the backpack's a little too heavy, so we won't stand up right away. But I'll get a stand later. So then we have this another uh, grenade belt secondary. So we can put that over his chest and try to get that on him. And there's a little hole in that, so we'd have to get the backpack to go through that as well. So we'll work on that in a minute. We're gonna put that there with some grenades, some beige grenades. And then we have Snake Eyes' cool sword, and we have a lot of deco on this. We have a brownish hilt, we have a silver blade, and then we have like a copperish blade as well. So there's multiple different deco hits on this sword, and that goes back to my point where they're cutting out deco hits on the accessories in the newer figures. All right, so then we have another sword, brown hilt with silver steel deco on that. Put that aside. Then we have a little pistol with some deco hits, dark brown deco hits on the handle. There. So we'll put that there. And then we have the scarab uh, for snake eyes, and it has, and this scarab has been used multiple times, has all that little detail inside there. We'll put that aside, and it has a little doodad on there that can stick on the side. And then we have his Uzi in beige, and has a couple deco hits of dark brown on the handle and the cartridge there in the front. And then we have a little dagger with some deco hit again, a beige deco on the handle and silver for the steel. And then we have um, a silencer, beige silencer there. Put that there. And I think that does it for all of his accessories. Let's see what we can do with some of these accessories. So obviously, in order to get this over here, we're gonna have to put his arm up there, and we're gonna have to try to put it over the head. So we're gonna do over the head, then we're gonna do over the arm at the same time. Try to get that secondary on there. There. So we got that on there. And so if we take the backpack back off and we kind of put it like center it where that peg hook is, and we get the backpack through that bandolier back into the back again. So that would give that a little bit more solid holding on that grenade bandolier. So I got it on there. Hey, buddy, Stephen Chaser. Hello. How are you today? Thanks for joining us today. We're doing Desert Commando Snake Eyes, and we did a bit of a history about the desert uh, ideation, I guess you could call it, with the Desert Force. Let me get back to it, and I'll show it off a little bit. The Desert Force. We're doing a bit of a deep dive into the desert ideation of G.I. Joe. So we showed Desert Force. We showed the Grunt Desert, the Clutch Desert, and Dusty, to go over the history of a little bit of the desert ideation for G.I. Joe, that it goes back to the beginning, and they were going to do that Desert Force to kind of give a little bit of a history why they did this Desert Commando Snake Eyes. Yeah, definitely. He's an excellent new ideation for this character, and hopefully we get some of that other stuff that I showed off. So let's see. We're going to put his pistol in his holster here. There. We're going to put his silencer. There's a little extra little circular doodad there on the side that you can put the silencer in there. So if you need that, there you go. Silencer's on there. We got the pistol, we got the silencer, and then we're going to put the knife in his left leg there. There, we got that. We got the bandolier, we got that on there. Let's see. Now we got to figure out where this this scabbard for his sword is supposed to go. Oh, it's on the side of the backpack right there. All right. So that goes on the side of the backpack, pegs right into that. So the backpacks are a little bit difficult to stay on because there's so much stuff on the back. But then we can put one of the swords in there. So we'll put this sword in there. 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 So we got that on there, pegged into the backpack. And we got that pegged into the back. And the sword is on there, in there. So I'm going to use his normal sword in one hand, and I'm going to use his Uzi in the other hand. So I have his sword there, and then I have this Uzi. I'm going to stick in this one. Now they've used this Uzi quite a lot. They even used it in my Crimson Strike team. So there's your Desert Snake Eyes, Desert Commando Snake Eyes. He looks really cool. I think this is a really, really nice figure. I like that bronze that they used on the sword and in the goggles to give a little bit of a sun visor kind of effect to that. Um, and I like the different deco hits and all the layering they did with the different browns and khakis and beiges. They really did a really good job layering this guy out. He looks really, really cool. It makes me really, really sad that we haven't gotten Desert Grunt and the Vamp Mark II. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to get the Vamp Mark II? Do you think it'll have a Desert Clutch? And do you think we will get the Desert Grunt? What do you guys think about the Desert ideation for G.I. Joe Classified? Do you think we should get more Desert related characters? Because obviously we're going to get Dusty version 2 with Sandstorm, and there's some other bad guys maybe we could get. What do you guys think? Give me some ideas in the chat about what do you think about Desert idea. Hey, Michael Gene Fleming. I came a little bit late today, so thanks for joining the chat. I appreciate it. What do you think about this Desert Commando Snake Eyes? I really like it. I think it's a really, really cool character. I think they did a really good job with it. It stands out in my mind as one of the better Snake Eyes is up to this point. This is like the 8th Snake Eyes we've gotten in like almost 100 figures. I think it's possible they need to reuse molds to get more money to put towards later new molds. Repainted are the easiest. Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you on that one, Stephen. Um, Sean Jones. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Garsoned? Garsonted? I don't know what that means. Sean Jones, can you explain that? Yeah, so trying to get another grunt in the line, trying to get another clutch in the line. I think those are two obvious reuses. So then you could do a really cool photography or desert environment with the Vamp Mark II clutch, grunt, Dusty, Snake Eyes on a mission out in the desert. And I think it would really, really, really be cool. The fact that they're trying to make these centerpieces for these different environments, I see where they're going with that. And they did it with the snowcat as a centerpiece for the Arctic theme. So now we have kind of a desert theme with a bunch of characters. We need to have a centerpiece for that theme. And so, what would that theme be? The Vamp Mark II, or would it be some sort of a Cobra temple playset? What would they do for something as a centerpiece for that theme? Maybe a GI Joe headquarters. We already have the Cobra playset and the Joe playset. The Joe playset is more like a headquarters type of a thing, and the Cobra one is more of a like a trench type of a situation out in the woods. So what would be a cool centerpiece for a GI Joe desert themed environment? Michael Gene Fleming. I have this Snake Eyes. There is the stupid bendy sword, but other than that, this is an A figure. Desert is always a good choice for alternate deco, and the colors on this are very pleasing visually. Yeah, I agree with you. So far, it's been pretty unanimous. Everybody has enjoyed this figure, and I think it really works out really well. So I hope we get more of this desert theme to go along with these several characters that we've gotten. And looking at the track record for different themes, um, environment themes, we've gotten a lot of jungle, we've gotten a lot of Arctic, we're starting to really get a lot of water, and we've gotten way back in like the first like I don't know 15 figures, we got Arctic Storm Shadow. So they were building these environments out way back there with Arctic Storm Shadow, and we've gotten quite a lot of Arctic now, and we will be getting a lot more this year. So trying to get other environments like water and desert and jungle. We've got plenty of jungle stuff. We've got a lot of green. We've got a lot of the OG 13 that are very green. So we've got a lot of that jungle already. So I think desert is our next theme that they really should be building. We've obviously got a lot of water, and now they're building on that water theme, and probably we're going to get the Mare as our centerpiece to the water theme. I hope we get a battle tactical platform along with the Moray. I would love to get both of them. I think that would be the perfect way to do both Joe and Cobra as a center piece for the water, and then a lot of different water vehicles like the shark, the water moccasin, the uh, the night landing, the devilfish, and so on and so forth. Would be cool to build that environment out. So desert is the one that really needs more help. So I think we need to get like, I don't think we're going to ever get a mobile command center. I think that would be way too big. But I think we could get maybe a Cobra Temple, like a desert Cobra Temple playset or something like that. Get some vehicles, get these the obviously the Mark II Vamp, and some other cool stuff like that vehicle wise. I don't know if we would get another MMS with a Desert Deco. What do you guys think? Do you think they would deco some of those vehicles, like the Stinger, not the Stinger, the Ram motorcycle? Do you think we get a Desert Ram? Do you think we would get a Desert MMS? Or do you think they would redeco the GI Joe or the Cobra play sets into a Desert Deco maybe? You never know. To reuse those molds, we've gotten 2 uses out of each of those molds already. 3 with the Ram motorcycle. But so it's just some things to think about in the future. But I do like the desert environment. I really do. I think it's a cool way to redeco and reuse a lot of these figures, like Michael Gene Fleming said earlier. Um, the Van Mark II is an obvious choice, but the Ostrich is also begging for a desert color scheme for Cobra. The 1994 Scorpion ATV would be a great small vehicle. There you go, Michael Gene Fleming, thinking outside the box. It seems like a lot of people are not happy with their Strikers. They don't like the way that it was constructed. They don't like a lot of the bendy accessories that come with it or the wheels. So it's gotten a lot of bad reviews. I have not opened mine. It's going to be a while before we get there. We're about 80 or so, 90 things away from that. So it's going to be a while before we get it. But the way we do these videos is so far in the past that we can think about these things when we get to it, and we may have more desert stuff by then. So you never know. So yeah, thank you, Michael Gene Fleming, for that comment. So that is Desert Commando Snake Eyes. So we got a Arctic character coming up next, a brand new character in the Arctic theme, and this helps us build that Arctic theme out quite a lot with this next one, 93. And so let's see what else. We're coming up on our 100 video, our 200 video, and our 100 classified review. We're going to try to marry those two things together and do them together. And that will be coming up very shortly, probably sometime next week, maybe next weekend. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, keep these videos going for you guys so we can continue on with these reviews. I appreciate everybody in the chat. I appreciate everybody after the fact, rewatching, doing the replay on these, and commenting and sharing and doing all that stuff as well there. So I should be doing a deep dive into Skybound comics probably sometime in the next few days. So keep an eye on that video. And I think that does it for this one. Unless you guys have any comments or questions that you would like to ask about the desert factions. I think there's some other desert characters that were never made. I think there's a desert shark or something like that. Maybe I think it's also in this volume. Never before made desert character. Let me see if I can find him. And there was also a desert character, Spearhead and Max, that we got that came with the Bobcat. We got him for the desert faction as well. Oh, here he. No, is it? No, let's see. I think it was in another volume. It was a desert character. Yeah, I don't have it in this volume. He's in another volume. It was like a desert shark or desert something or other character that never got made. So there was other desert characters that we never got. So that was a big thing for Hasbro, obviously in the vintage, but a lot of it we never got. So there you go. So, all right. Well, then thank you guys very much. This is a Joe video. So we're going to go with Yo Joe. We will see you guys next time. Thanks a lot.